My name is Jim Thomas, and welcome to the Fitness Management Update. Our topic today is additional purposes of the outbound call in your gym. And here's what I mean. Of course, when we're making any kind of outbound call, the primary purpose is we want to, set an appointment and we want to sell a membership. We know that. But when you're making this outbound call, think about, that line that goes across your page, and on the left it says cold, on the right it says sold. And, when you're making these calls, your customers are on various places on that line. And one of the mistakes that I see made too often is too many people, when they make this outbound call, they make it like everybody's about 80% sold. And when in reality, a lot of these folks, it could be cold as cold, it could be 20%, could be 30%. There could be a lot of different variables in there. So when you're making this outbound call, it's not just about booking an appointment, maybe selling somebody. There's other things too that may indeed have to happen. Let's go through a few of these. Number one, and this is more in the corporate world, when you're trying to sell corporate memberships, group programs, make sure, when you're making this call, it could be to identify the decision maker. And there's nothing worse than, doing some follow-up and then realize you're not talking to the person that can make a decision. Number two, kind of in the same line here, is identify, who's influencing this, particularly if you're making corporate calls, who has the influence here, who's the bell cow here that can really make or break this deal, and so you know how to treat that person. Determine, what's going to be needed. You're calling this person up, and what's going to be needed here. Well, I'm going to need to build trust. I need to find out that super objective. Maybe it's going to require some email coaching. Maybe they feel uncomfortable because they haven't worked out in such a long time of kind of coming back in, and we need to get them a little bit active first. So, determine what's going to be needed. Create interest, with your customer, create desire. This is part of that nurturing process of interest and desire, and, that the coaching and just referrals you might send, references you might send, articles on similar things, be committed to help these folks. Of course, we're looking to get an appointment, and sometimes on these appointments, certainly, want the appointment to come in the club. It might be an appointment to call them back next week. Okay, it could be that. You could get additional contact information, for follow-up. Could be the purpose. And this contact information, maybe you want to connect with them on social media. Maybe you're looking to, to get a cell phone because you want to text them over some videos, from the gym. So you're going to get additional contact information. As we mentioned to you earlier, you want to move them from a cold, 10%, 20%, 30%, and you want to warm them up. So the next time you talk to them, maybe they're at 50 to 60, and then eventually, you get them to that sold. And then finally, the purpose of that outbound call, you're simply adding to your pipeline. You're building your pipeline. You're nurturing these leads. The more you have in that pipeline, the more you have working, the better chance you have to make more membership sales in your gym. My name is Jim Thomas, and this has been the Fitness Management Update.